Next up, Arizona State head coach Bobby Hurley and Arizona State student athletes Zylan Cheatham and Remy Martin. We'll open it up for questions.
How are you? Good morning.
Where is this team compared to where you thought it would be now in your fourth year? It's kind of the year most teams start making traction under a new coach. Is this team ahead of schedule where you thought you'd be, or behind schedule, or about what you thought?
Yeah, I mean, I thought last year's sign, I'm going to talk about last year for a second. I thought we had the potential just with the guard play and the addition of Romello White and Daquan Lake, and then another year for Vitaly Scheibel, just more of an inside presence to balance the guard play. So wasn't surprised that, we made a jump last year. This year, I had always thought I had a vision for losing Trey Holder and Shannon Evans and Cody Justice. That's why, we looked at Zylan Cheatham and Rob Edwards, two transfers that excelled already, that are older, veteran players, proven players, and then we had our best recruiting class, with Lugan Stort and Tayshawn Cherry. Lugan Stort has had an unbelievable impact on what we're doing. The battles on a daily basis with he and Remy Martin have been pretty epic, and for me, just with my Jersey roots and the value of defense that was ingrained in me, from my dad growing up to Coach K and the whole thing. I've always wanted to be a good defensive basketball team, and I think this is my best opportunity with the roster we have right now to be better defensively.
Bobby, it was such an unusual season for you, with how well things went in non-conference play, weren't able to keep that momentum in league play. Going into the offseason, were you able to maybe kind of recapture that early momentum, or did you kind of have to build up some spirits?
I mean, we just talk to the players a lot. It's fragile. Basketball is extremely fragile. Every day is that way. Like last year, we play in Arizona to be #1 in the country and lose a close game in Arizona, and then 1 week later we're playing at Utah, fighting for our lives not to go 0-3 in the Pac-12. So that's just within 1 week. So we really focus on getting better every day. I think we didn't do as good a job of closing out close games. Like in the non-conference, we had a war with Kansas State. We won 92-90. Our Kansas game was way closer than a 10-point margin at Kansas. So there were games that were close. We found ways to win. In the Pac-12, we didn't. I think when we lost to Colorado in the Pac-12 tournament, we were one of 4 teams nationally that never lost by double figures. And it was ourselves, Virginia, Villanova, and Nevada. And so we were in a lot of games, a lot of close games, and we just didn't win enough of them in league play. And believe me, the fellas are hearing about it on the practice floor, just about how we need to play better in conference. And I'll use any example or every example I can to emphasize that. That's on our list to perform better this year in league play.
What excites you about this team?
I just think I touched on the capabilities defensively. I think I'm seeing that every day based on our competition and just our overall athleticism and length. I have a lot of roster flexibility, have different lineups, more size, more ability to maybe generate turnovers and get out in the open floor. Also, our closeouts now are guys that have like 7'1" wingspan. So it certainly is going to help I think our defense and our ability to get stops more regularly. And that was always, the guys fought and did everything they could last year, and we caused all kinds of problems for teams on offense, but it was just a struggle, defensively to be as good as we needed to be.
Who's been the most pleasant surprise so far?
I think Kamani Lawrence has had a great offseason just based on maybe guys that we had high hopes for, but he struggled, with an injury early last year that lost a lot of time, and then it was hard for him to find himself and find a role, especially because we were rolling so well early in the season. But he's attacked the offseason, is in great shape, has made some adjustments to his offensive game. He's shooting it way better, and it's something that we have to replace with the guys that graduated. I think he could help in that category. But he's just a really good all-around player, great kid, hard worker, and just could do a number of things for us. So we're excited about him.
You had a taste last year and then ran into some trouble. What did you learn about yourself as a coach that's going to help you this season?
I mean, it's just tough. You know, you're constantly fighting. I talked about how fragile it is, and you know, we had such we kind of burst on the scene, and there was so much enthusiasm about what we were doing, and just took a lot of pride in that. You know, just the way our crowds flocked to the games last year was like nothing I've seen before. So there were a lot of positives. The flip side is, you know, just guiding my team better, just finding, you know, more ways to close out some close games, and you know, we didn't win enough of them. We put ourselves in a really dangerous position for postseason. Hopefully we won't do that this year.
What's your most interesting story from the recruiting trail?
This year? It's been kind of light, and when I say that, it's you know, a lot of the pieces are in place, and we. Currently, we're most likely only going to lose 2 players, you know, from this year's team, and so majority of the team is coming back. And can't really comment on specific guys that we have, but we've already, you know, done pretty good work in 2019, and so yeah, it's hard to come up with one that would stand out at the moment.
I know you take great pride in taking that curtain down, those blocked out seats at Wells Fargo. Is it staying down?
Yeah, the wall's down, and every day, you know, I'm at my gym working out in the morning, and you know, someone will come up, hey, I just bought season tickets, you know, so it's going well. I feel a real enthusiasm about what we're doing, and you know, I think there's an opportunity right now in Phoenix for us to continue the momentum that we built from last year. So I think we're you know, we got some great non-conference games on our schedule. You know, having Kansas come in before Christmas. Some really exciting games there, and then, you know, it's just hope to build on it. But I think that the crowds are gonna be there like they were this past season.
What's been your biggest challenge in trying to recapture the early momentum that your team had last year going into this?
I mean, I don't think there's many challenges. The guys are very push button. They're very hardworking. I think they're hungry. You know, we're not a program that I think just expects to be anything given to us, or that it's our right to go to the NCAA tournament or to have a great season. So the guys are pretty focused and determined. We're going to have great practices and prepare in the right way. And so, yeah, everything has been what I'd hope it would be at this point.
You mentioned who your biggest surprise is so far. Who would you like to nudge along? Who needs to do some work?
Yeah, I think Romello White is a guy that could take another jump, and you know, I'm hopeful for him to do that. As a freshman, he put up really good numbers, you know, 12 and 7, and you know, rebounded well for us. And he's a guy that's got to put together a great overall season. I think he's capable of doing it. And you know, I think our depth is outstanding, because if you had asked me, like, who I'm going to talk about, Romello could be the 4th or 5th guy that I might talk about, and he's very capable of putting up great numbers for us. I just think it's a tribute to just the depth that we have coming into this year.
Finally, for me, if you could just finish this sentence: Arizona State wins the Pac-12 title if.
Arizona State wins the Pac-12 title if we defend and rebound and just play together, because that's going to be the challenge. And I have to do a good job coaching this team, because it's been easy for me. I've had guys that play 30, 35 minutes, and we're deeper, and I'm going to have to figure out, you know, lineups and combinations that work, and distributing playing time is going to be more of an emphasis for me. If I do all those things well, and our team plays together, I think we're talented, and we could really compete with anybody.
Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Hey, Coach. So Remy was kind of talking about how you guys have some bigger guards this season, and how it's kind of helping them to be able to switch on to different players. How have you used that as an asset with a bunch of bigger guards?
Yeah, I just think it kind of takes the court away more on defense, just having more length, more size, more strength. I think just from a rebounding perspective and a team defense perspective, you know, I think we're really strong. I think we have 3 guys that might want to compete to be Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year, and I know there's great athletes and great defenders on other teams, but Remy Martin, his on-the-ball defense, and Zylan Cheatham just as an overall defender, a multi-position defender, and a super athlete, and Lugance Dort is just a shutdown defender. I mean, he's with his strength and his athletic ability even for an incoming freshman, and his mindset and approach to defending. He just wants to lock you up, and he's got the physical tools to do it. So it's I just like our approach to that. Hey, Case.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
To piggyback off that answer, so you guys are certainly more athletic and maybe more defensive minded than you have in the past. Strategically, how are you going to be able to take advantage of the guys' competitiveness? Like, are you going to play differently at all, or is anything going to change defensively in your strategy? Like, press more, anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, we had a three-quarter court press that we used last year, and I think you almost have to have it in your arsenal, just for a variety of reasons, whether it's to shorten the clock against a particular opponent or, when you're down in games to figure out a way to get yourself back in the game. And, when you could put a guy like Zylan Cheatham on the point of the zone, three-quarter court, just with his length, his athleticism, his activity, his motor, it's something that we're putting into our plan this year defensively. And we would like to create more turnovers and maybe not be in such a 5-on-5 half-court game. I think defensively we'll be able to generate more stops, but I think offensively we have the potential to excel, in the transition game, in the open floor. So, having something that we could go to change the tempo of the game would be helpful. I think that hurt us some last year when we got to league play. I think teams didn't want to run with us, with our guards, and they milked the shot clock and shot late and crashed the board and kind of shortened the game on us.
How about ball screen defense? Do you have more versatility as far as that?
Yeah, I mean, that's been another great thing that, Lugan Stort could play the point guard for us, and he's 6'4", 220 pounds, and he's got a 7-foot wingspan. He's built like Raleigh Hawkins. That's who he kind of looks like from Arizona last year. But he could guard 4 positions, and when you have Zylan Cheatham that could switch on a point guard, and you're comfortable with him doing a good job staying in front, it gives you more options as a coach. Things that we couldn't do in the past couple of years. Yeah.
Do you think you guys will embrace the guard use sort of personality again, or was that more last year, and does this year have a different sort of personality to it?
Yeah, I mean, I think just the small guards, and we were fun, and we're kind of lethal on offense at times, just with our explosiveness, and so it made sense. I think there's different players. They laid the foundation for it, but still having Rob Edwards and Remy Martin and Lugan Stort, and those 3 guys will carry on that tradition fairly well, I think.
Did that sort of persona give a team some swag, some sort of bravado that it needed last year?
Yeah, I mean, it was something fun, and we just, it's a basketball, and you're competing, and everything's tough, but just want to have a good time doing it too, and celebrate what you're doing, and that was kind of, just thought it was a cool thing for our players. They enjoyed it, they embraced it, and they took the responsibility to went along with it, and so I think it's going to continue. I think in the future we're going to have the ability to bring in guards to Arizona State because of our style of play, and our system is very friendly to guard play. So I don't think you've seen the last of it. If you watched this last year.
And you probably talked about this already, but just the lessons learned from last season, just that hot start, and then what happened kind of at the end of the season. What did you learn from that?
Yeah, just that there are struggles, and you go through adversity, and you just got to fight through it. And we fought, and again I touched on we lost a number of close games in league play, and it was every game was a fight, and we just we didn't win enough of them. It was a difference of winning 2 or 3 more really close games that would have put us in a great position for the tournament. So. We realize that we got to do a better job when we get to league play. We got to be peaking, further down the line than we were this past year.
Time for about one more. Any possibility you ever schedule a matchup with your brother at UConn? Is that going to happen at some point?
Yeah, I mean it's out of the question, in terms of just our relationship. It's and just our whole upbringing and what it means, and it's just not going to work. We care a lot about each other. We've been through a lot together, and just couldn't really wouldn't want to see either one of us disappointed that way. It would be a mirror image. A lot of what I learned and believe it came from the years I worked with my brother. I owe him a lot about just the success that I've had just because of what I learned working with him. And I'm happy for him, and he's going to do a great job at UConn.
I was with him a couple weeks ago and I asked him the question about how long he wants to do this. You know, there are more coaches saying they don't want to be lifers doing this past 60. Where do you stand on that?
I love the game. I think there was something missing when I wasn't either playing or coaching, and it's been so rewarding for me to starting at Wagner and at Rhode Island, spending those years with my brother, and then going to a place like Buffalo that had never been to the NCAA tournament, and in the second year, seeing all my players celebrate after we won a championship, and the confetti coming down, and seeing my players embracing their family, and knowing all the work you put in that process, and to see the reward of it makes it special. And coming to Arizona State and struggling for 2 years, and then, you know, just getting to number 3 in the country, number 1 on ESPN, and watching my guys just enjoy the whole process. It was, I can't see myself really wanting to stop or do anything else.